Hello, today on adding a little ministry to your magic, I'm going to do a illustration that shows how worship, how we get out what we put in. And here's how it goes. You know, a lot of people when they come home from worship, they say, "I just didn't get anything out of that. I just didn't get anything out of the lesson, or I just didn't feel anything out of the service, or whatever." Well, a lot of times, what we get out is what we put in. Ygowypi. That's the magic word we're going to use today to describe this phenomenon. Let's say this tea kettle here is our worship time, and when we go to worship and everything. And so a lot of it matters what we get out of it is what we put in it. For example, say we go to worship and we're green with envy. We go to worship and all week we've spent time thinking about what we don't have and complaining about everything everyone else has, and we've been envious the whole week, and we go to worship and we take that with us, and when we go there we put it in there. So what's going to happen to us when we go to worship that week? Well, probably is what will come out when we hear the lesson, when we hear the song service. We won't be thinking about God, we won't be thinking about what's there, but actually what we'll get out of it is just the idea of envious. Maybe the song leader thinks he's better than us, or the preacher is too uppity, or whatever. But envy will come out because that's what we take in. For example, we go to worship and we're upset. We take a little red ball of anger, and it's been pushed down inside of us all week. We've been having things that make us angry and get us upset, and we take that with us to worship. We take our anger there, and when we get to worship, the song service, the preacher preaches, and next thing we know, he says something, and instead of listening to it for the content, instead of listening to it to improve ourselves, we just get upset. He said something that made us mad, and next thing we know, what we're taking out of it is just boiling us over with red anger. And once again, what we take out is that anger. Maybe we go to worship with the blues. We take our little sack of blues there. We've had a bad week, we've had all these troubles, and we take them with us to worship, but rather than leaving them in front of God, we carry them with us and we put that in there. And so when the lesson gets done, we don't feel any better. We're not doing anything more. We haven't been inspired. We haven't moved on because we're just so blue. And what we take with us is just another batch of the blues. Maybe it's not necessarily something we bring with us, but something we've had with us all week. Let's say we've been a stick in the mud all week. We've been yellow. We haven't talked to anybody about a Christian faith. We haven't stood for what's right or what's true. And so when we go to worship and we've been that yellow all week, well, how can we expect to hear a lesson that changes our lives? How can we worship God when all we really are still is just yellow? And so here we are now, taking out. We're wondering why we didn't get anything out of worship. Well, maybe it's because of what we put in. Ygowypi, you get out what you put in. This is a nice little illustration that you can show people of any age the idea of contributing to worship. What we put into our worship is a lot of times what we get out, and the importance of that. Thank you so much for joining. If you'd like to learn how to do this, you can contact me at 13ARRY at thehopechurchofchrist.net. Thanks for watching our video.